All right, let's, as we finish off here, go through a few of the markets, obviously, with the 2025 games to go in the season, and then come playoff time, we'll have a look at the championship odds and whatnot as well. But let's start with the big one, MVP. We just spoke about Joel Embiid with that bet. He's into 240 favouritism for MVP, well on top for mine. It'll be interesting to see how Harden, obviously, Harden is slated. It's been announced that he will play in Philly's first game back from the All-Star break, so he'll make his debut for the 76ers. It'll be interesting to see how he impacts Joel's game, but right now that looks a good thing. Jokic is at 360, Giannis at 450, Steph is out at $11, Ja Morant is at 15, DeRozan is at 18, Booker at 18, Doncic 26, Durant's injured at 61. Look, outside of Embiid, DeMar DeRozan, statistically, good chance. I just don't think it's DeRozan's had a great season. And I love DeMar DeRozan. I think he's a fantastic player. Having DeMar DeRozan labelled an MVP, I just can't see people buying that and voting for that. I can't see media members voting for that, unfortunately. So I think he jumps off the page to me at $18 because he's been putting up all kinds of ridiculous numbers. Like, it's crazy. But I just don't think the name is synonymous with, hey, this guy's an MVP caliber player. Has been this season, but tough one. So it's hard to go past MB. I still think 240 is pretty good value. Giannis is probably the other one who can make, because I could actually see the Bucks have been somewhat disappointing. I think if he pushes the Bucks to a better record, and they're only 2.5 games back, they could literally, I think there's a good chance they finish as the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. I think they go on a big run here. Giannis is probably the other one, where I think the Nuggets and Jokic probably finish just too far down. They're probably going to finish 5th, 6th in the West, which is probably a bit too low. Giannis is the one for me. Steph, well, as I said before, if Steph comes out, plays like he did in the All-Star game, all of a sudden has a few games where he's making 10-plus threes, averages 30-plus the rest of the season, the team all of a sudden goes on a huge run, perhaps even with Chris Paul being out, perhaps they overtake the Suns or something like that, and finishes the 1 seed, maybe then. But I don't see that happening. I think the Suns will finish as the 1 seed. They've got enough of a buffer now. The Rookie of the Year, Evan Mobley, $1.17. You have to. You have to just because of the impact that he's had on the Cleveland Cavaliers. I just said before about Ashby's bet. Over 27.5 was their line. They have 35 already. It is, it is ridiculous, really. Incredible how well the Cavs are going. Josh Giddey's at $10, Cade Cunningham 12, Scotty Barnes 12, Franz 20, Dasumu 61, Duarte 91, Jalen Green, who was my preseason prediction, hasn't worked out at 101. I'm still looking for my man Jonathan Kuminga. He's at 501. But yeah, Mobley, Giddey, is it worth it? He's 3 straight triple doubles. We're going to talk about him on Sunday. I don't want to talk too much about him now, but geez, he's been good. So good. So good, especially from an Australian point of view as well. Obviously, it's so exciting. 6th man of the year, Tyler Hero's $1.06. You're not getting anything out of that. Kelly Oubre Jr., pains me to say, he's second favourite, even though he's out at 23. Kevin Love, Montrezl Harrell, Buddy Hield, Jordan Clarkson, Dennis Schroeder, Jordan Poole, Jalen Brunson, Anthony Simons, Patty Mills, Cam Johnson, Cam Payne. Well, I don't know why I'm going through this. It's Tyler Hero is locked up. Most improved player, Ja Morant, is at $1.20. Garland is at $10. Bridges is at $10. Murray is at $13. Simons at $26. Simons gone off his nut post the trade deadline, or even a couple of games before that when Lillard was obviously out. Getting that starting spot, he's the one because I don't know if it was up to Lee's kind of take on the most improved award. He thinks that if you are a high draft pick, that you don't deserve to win it because you're expected to become the kind of player that Ja Morant has become. Like, that's what you want out of a number 2 pick. Darius Garland's a high pick as well. So these guys, DeJounte Murray, not such a high pick. Anthony Simons, not such a high pick. Unfortunately, it's going to go to Ja. The way that he's playing, the way that he's led Memphis to, they're similar to Cleveland. Just an incredible season they've had so far. It's his, I think, for the taking. Defensive player of the year, Rudy Gobert's at $2.70, Draymond Green $4, Giannis $5, Jaren Jackson Jr. $9.50, Mikal Bridges $15, Robert Williams $15, Embiid $19, Mobley $26. Allen 34, Thibault at 51, Adebayo 76. Jeez, Thibault at 51. Well. Draymond and Rudy, they don't like each other. I think it's a two-horse race. Giannis, Jaren Jackson, maybe, but it's Rudy and Draymond. Look, Draymond had this sewn up. He did, and then he got injured. And, boy, he's got to be motivated, surely. He has to be motivated to come back and try and take out this award, because if Rudy wins it again and then he has, 2 or 3 more than Draymond does, Draymond's not going to be happy with that. He really dislikes Rudy Gobert and the fact that he's one more defensive player of the year. Like, I think he hates it. He really does. Because he sees, and I think, I see it as well, and I think a lot of people see the fact that Rudy's a fantastic interior defender, and when he wasn't playing for the Jazz, it left a massive hole. We understand that. But Draymond's versatility to guard basically anyone 1 to 5 to switch out onto the perimeter, I think that, and obviously I'm biased as a Warriors fan, I think Draymond Green's a better defensive player than Rudy Gobert. So if he comes back, which is slated to come back soon after the All-Star break, the only issue is it's a lower back/disc injury, fraught with danger. I'm nervous as a Warriors fan to see when Draymond comes back, how he comes back, whether he can actually sustain the comeback for the rest of the season and not have it be a lasting issue that he's kind of got to manage through. So, I don't know. It's a tough one. I take Draymond personally, but again, it's a little bit biased. Let's look at the Eastern Conference, Western Conference odds. The Eastern Conference, wide open. The Nets $3.75, the Bucks $3.75, the 76ers $4.50, the Heat $6. They are putting so much in to KD coming back. How are the Nets? I don't understand that. Wow. That doesn't make any sense. Is this for, hang on. Is this to, okay, so this is to win the East. This is not to the seedings at the end of the season. So let me clarify that, because then the Nets would definitely not be, they're at the 8th seed. They'd definitely not be equal favourites. Look, it's a wide open affair. I'm still taking the Bucks. I still am. Philly, you just got to see how this Harden Embiid thing plays out. There could be, you could ask me in a week's time and I'll take Philly, but right now there's too many question marks around that. The least question marks there are the Bucks. So don't count out the Heat. The Celtics are now in front of the Bulls. The Celtics are on a run. I just fear playoff time. Not enough scoring, playmaking, shot making outside of JB and JT. But they've kind of gone away from, all right, we need a traditional point guard, and into, we're just going to let those guys run the offense, and we're going to be a really defensive-minded team. They're the best defensive team in basketball right now. Western Conference. The Warriors and Suns, equal favourites at 270. The Jazz at 650. Nuggets, Grizzlies out at 18. Mavericks, Lakers, Timberwolves. Yeah, write your own ticket for the rest. I'm going to steer clear from talking about it. I'm a Warriors fan, so there's not going to be... It's hard for me to be non-biased on this, I guess. I'm pretty hopeful as long as Draymond comes back and looks like pre-All-Star Draymond before he got injured, where he's obviously in All-Star form. Clay's only going to get better. But Phoenix, there's no weakness there. The Warriors have a weakness with interior defense and big men, because right now Kevon Looney is shouldering a big load, which historically he hasn't been able to take because he does get injured at some point every season. James Wiseman, now back to 5-on-5 scrimmaging. Don't know how. Maybe slated potentially in the next few weeks to come back. Big question marks over him and Draymond. The Suns, now there's this CP issue, but outside of that, they've just got, it's an all-star backcourt, a fantastic big man in Ayton, and a few fantastic role players in the likes of Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder. There's no issues there. They're the safe pick. If I was going to have a bet, they're the safe pick, but I do think there's more upside in the Warriors. Let's go to the championship. It's a pretty wide open affair still. The Warriors and Suns are both at $5. The Nets at $7. The Bucks $7.50. 76ers $8.50. Heat $11. Jazz $15. Celtics at $26. The Bulls at $26. Look, it's probably trying to find some value, to be honest. It's probably trying to find some value. The Clippers. The Clippers are out at 101. Maybe worth a tenner. Maybe, because I tell you, if Kawhi and PG come back, which these odds would suggest they're not, but if they do, if you told me right now that PG and Kawhi are coming back a week before the season finishes, or 2 weeks before the season finishes, and they just get 4 or 5 games into them or something like that, those odds go from 101 into 11, if I'm being honest, even having to play the Warriors or Suns in the first round. I'm being honest. If they got through them, oof. I look like the Clippers are really competitive right now without their 2 best players. Yeah. That's my value pick. $101, the LA Clippers. Yeah. They're dangerous. They've got Rocco. Norman Powell's out injured now again, so they just can't take a trick. And they've still actually got to get to the playoffs first, which is going to be the big question mark. Maybe that just doesn't even happen. But $100. Sorry, $101. Maybe worth a tenner. So